The men's basketball team is seeded 8th in the East region of the NCAA tournament. Will play number 9 seed Virginia Tech on Thursday at 8:40 p.m. Central Time in Buffalo, New York. That game will be televised by CBS. Head coach Greg Gard is here. We'll have some opening comments, then take questions.
Well, first of all, extremely happy and excited for our guys to make the program's 19th straight NCAA tournament, which is astonishing when you think about it and really look at it as in the big picture. So really happy for them. Obviously, I thought we played pretty well over the weekend with the exception of some stuff offensively the second half yesterday. And, I think had a really good weekend. So I know our guys are looking forward to moving on now and getting ready for Virginia Tech, a team that'll be, I'm sure as you ask me questions about them, we can go into more detail. But you get to this time of year, and as I've said many times, all the average to poor teams are on spring break. So any opponent you're going to see, regardless of when you see them, where you see them, what seeds everybody is, it really doesn't matter because they're all the only ones that are left are the ones that have had really good years. So we're excited about it. I'm happy for our guys. Like I said, a heck of an accomplishment for them to be in this position, and looking forward to this week.
Coach, they say the NCAA tournament's all about matchups. How do you feel like?
Well, I mean, like I've just said, any team you face is going to be really good and present issues or opportunities for us. So obviously knowing Buzz for a long time, how his teams have played at Marquette, how they play at Virginia Tech, they have some differences from what they were doing at Marquette. Very good players. They've had to overcome an injury here in the last month with Chris Clark tearing an ACL, but a team that has played well and obviously well-tested in the league. So it'll be a lot more about how we play versus any type of matchup. I think, they're a little smaller in terms of across the front line, but they do different things to compensate for that. And like I said, they've had a really good year too. I think that's the first time that program's been back in the tournament since 2007. So they're excited about it, and we'll learn more about them as we go through the week and understand better what we need to do to be successful Thursday night.
Greg, after you went back and looked at the second half yesterday, what did not work well for you guys offensively?
Well, we missed some shots around the rim, but we also we were in position when we had cut it to 6, and the 3 threes they got in the second half were all at the shot clock. Rockman hits the one that bounces over the backboard and comes in, and then Irvin hits one with Jordan Hill right in his face, and Duncan Robinson hits one. So those were all very timely in terms of where we were in terms of making a run. But I thought we had several opportunities in the paint, some decent looks where we could have. We start the half 2 points on 10 possessions, and the 2 points were in the 10th possession. That's where we really needed to make our surge, and that's where, we got behind by 7 or 9 at that point. We couldn't get back, obviously closer than 6, but I felt good about where we were going into halftime, having adjusted some things on the latter part of the first half, defensively specifically, and then we obviously were able to catch them. We needed to have a better start to the second half, specifically offensively, and that's where we got ourselves in a hole that we couldn't get out of.
Coach, what's your reaction to being an 8 seed, especially when you saw league teams you finished ahead of ranked?
You never know what goes on in the room, so I don't really get too wound up in that. There's all types of different factors from where else you could have been, what could have been this next opponent. They can't put you in a pod where you could see somebody that you have already seen or see a league team. So there's a lot of different factors go into it. RPI, strength of schedule, all kinds of things go into it. So you just, like I said, playing in March is a privilege. It's not a right. It's not something that automatically happens. So you have to work your way there, and once you get there, you understand it is what it is, and you've got to get ready to play because any opponent doesn't care what your feelings are about where you were seated or where you felt you should be seated. They're all good teams. So whether you're an 8, a 9, a 7, a 3, get ready and go play.
Ryan? How much more difficult does it make it playing at 9:40 Eastern time? Does that affect you guys at all?
Yeah, it helps us. We get more rest from playing on Sunday to playing later on Thursday. More time we have, the better, and Maybe it'll be really late for Virginia Tech. They're on East Coast. They'll be ready to go to bed by that time at really 8:40 on our clocks. Hey, it doesn't matter. I mean, play tomorrow, play Thursday. We get too wound up in the frivolous things that really don't matter in some of this.
Zach said after the game yesterday that he thought this put a bit of a chip on your shoulder being a number 8 seed. Do you get the sense that that is how the team is taking that?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been around them too much after we got home early this morning. They'll be coming in a little bit later this afternoon for some treatments and things like that, but we'll have the day off in terms of practice. I don't, like I said, a chip on your shoulder, you're going to play a good team. Look at all the 10s. If you were a 7, look at the 10s you would have had to play. If you're a 6, look at the 11s. I mean, there's, look at some of the other 9s that you would have had to play. So, like I said, there's 68 of us or whatever there is left in this. You know, it's you just be grateful that you're in it, fortunate for the opportunity, and you prepare for the next 40 minutes and play as well as you can, because if you have a bad segment, you get sent home. And like I said, you can, in large part across the board, you can wipe out the little number that sits in front of them, because in most instances, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Greg, can you give us an example of something you learned for the first time in your first NCAA tournament experience a year ago as a head coach that you feel needs to apply right now?
Yeah, I think not make it bigger than it is needs to be. I think they get enough stimuli or stimulus from the outside, just with the drama of the tournament. They see it on TV. They've watched it growing up. They've been in it before. I don't need to fan the flame, so to speak, from an emotional standpoint. They understand what this is, and it's a one and done, a win or go home scenario. So I think the more you can stay true to who you are and what got you here, and understand that is going to be the most valuable thing in terms of trying to advance. Stay true to who you are, because you're not going to any type of radical changes at this time of year sends the wrong signal to the players that what we were doing all along wasn't working or wasn't the right thing. Why are we changing now? So the more you can stay in keep it as normal and as consistent as compared to what you did during the regular season, I think helps.
Greg, I think in 2014 you guys had a bad 20 minutes at the Big Ten tournament. The other 60 was pretty good. The same here. First 2 games really good. Even the first half yesterday was pretty good. Do you just wipe away? Obviously, you have to get better from what happened in the second half, but do you kind of just get in their mind saying, we're that team that first 2 games?
Yeah, we talked about that after the game. I mean, we played really well on Friday and Saturday, and not bad yesterday. We just had a segment specifically in the second half where we couldn't score. So you bottle up the good things, try to stay away from the things that got us a little bit in trouble, and understand what makes us good, and try to hit on those things as much as possible.
Just the weather? The weather, how is that going to impact you guys at all, do you know? Not on the court, obviously, but travel and everything that goes along with it.
I think we're going to be fine. We have a few snowmobiles rented in case we need them, some snowshoes. Won't be a whole lot different than being in Wisconsin, so maybe it's an advantage. They don't have snow in Blacksburg right now, right? A little different temperature. Buzz hasn't seen the snow in a while since he left Marquette.
Coach, you mentioned all the things on the outside, where you guys are seated, what time you play. How do you keep your guys focused on just what you have to do and not let all those distractions happen? What's your message to your guys?
Tomorrow will be, here are some video things from Sunday's game. We won't take all the time to go through Friday and Saturday, but we'll show some things from yesterday, positively, and things we need to be better at. And then we'll quickly move on to using tomorrow, pending our travel schedule isn't set yet. So whether we will leave here in the morning or tomorrow practice here and leave in the afternoon, or leave in the afternoon and practice out there tomorrow night, we're still waiting. We're at the mercy of the NCAA when the travel planes are set and all that type of stuff. So we'll quickly move on, and here's what we got to do to prepare for Virginia Tech. Here's the challenges they present, and we're very quickly. I think that can be an advantage. Playing Sunday and you get a day to rest, and here we go. We're right back at it. So it keeps you kind of in your normal regular season routine that we've been in terms of play, day off, 2 days of prep, and then go play again. So it'll be obviously fast learning from a Virginia Tech standpoint, but they've got to quickly learn about us too.
You mentioned Buzz. What's your relationship like with him? What's it like facing maybe a formula at least or a coach that you're somewhat familiar with?
Yeah, Buzz has always been good to me. We got a chance to talk last summer. I haven't seen him since last summer. He texts once in a while during the year, specifically last year as we were going through our season, and he knew the situation I was in. But I haven't seen him really since July. We, I think, stood together watching a game, and I had to kind of give him he wanted the history. Buzz always has a lot of questions. Buzz is very inquisitive, but he kind of wanted to walk him through how our whole year came about, and from the interim standpoint to more of my background. Buzz has had to work his way up, and he swept floors as a junior college coach, much like I swept floors as a junior high coach, and he didn't have anything given to him in the coaching ranks. He's had to work and toil his way through it. So I appreciate that about him. He's always had to, like I said, anything he's earned or the opportunities he's been able to have been through his dedication and hard work. So it'll be fun. It's looking forward to seeing him whenever we probably see him on Wednesday during our press conferences or meetings, and looking forward to competing because he's turned that pretty quickly. I think he's in his third year, so he's obviously been able to change the mindset and get things back on track. So happy for him, and looking forward to Thursday night.